In the last couple of videos I drew a spider and then I drew a lizard, and now I'm going to draw the spider and the lizard together. Spider versus lizard. Now this is a pen and ink drawing, just using nibs and ink. What it is not so much of a, well, it's a sort of a how-to draw, but what I'm doing is I'm just going through, I'm drawing, and every now and again I sort of stop and sort of basically say what I'm doing. So it's sort of more for an advanced person or somebody who's using a bit of pen and ink already, just to get a few pointers on how I do things. So this is how I approach this subject. I'm starting off with a gesture drawing here. This is the action I want. A lizard pouncing onto a spider. So I'm drawing this action scene. I want this lizard to look like it's just flying at this poor spider. So I've got legs going that way, legs going that way. If I can do this really fast sort of whip line there, if it hits the right place, I'm usually pretty happy in this. I can convey a bit more of the action that's happening here. A few strands of grass here. Now, put the shadows in place. See where I've changed my mind on the arms? It doesn't really matter because these pencil lines are all going to get rubbed out, and all that's going to remain is the ink. Okay, using my whole arm, if I can pull this off, I've got more action happening. Okay, time to get the ink out. First bit of inking I'm doing is with a brush and a bit of ink, and the brush is called a liner. It's actually got very long bristles. That helps me get flowing lines. I'll be quite bold with this. And what I mark out with the liner is almost like a gesture drawing. This is where the fun begins. Doing probably the less important bit now. It's always just good to get a little bit of practice in with the pen. So if I'm doing it this bit here, which is not as important, if I sort of stuff it up, it's not as bad. So look at my drawing of the spider. What I'm doing here, the dots, is a little bit stippling. Just dots to build up a tone. My little trick about doing grass is that I actually like to, with the nib pen, just put in the negative spaces. So this is drawing grass billflower style. You put down the pencil lines and then you ink both sides of the pencil line. What we call negative shapes. If you're a beginner and you're not quite sure what I mean by negative shapes, you should have a look at my how to draw a stick insect video where I talk about negative shapes and how they help you with drawing. Actually smudged a bit there, but I think I can live with it. Now, because it's really easy for the hand, to go that way. So what I do is I rotate the paper so that my hand can go that way. It makes it easier to get smoother lines. As an illustrator of animals, you tend to notice a lot of things. Drawing helps your observation skills, whereas many of the great naturalists in the past, including people like Charles Darwin, used to do these nice illustrations in their journals. It's before they had cameras, but it does make you look at things spot by spot, patterns. It often makes me wonder, this again, a whitey eye, I'd notice it straight away in the wild, but wouldn't necessarily notice all the little markings on it. But I wonder if subconsciously I do because of that recognition. But when I sit there and draw it, I have time to contemplate and look at all those little markings and wonder what they're there for. It's just a nice sort of camouflage so it can blend in with its environment. But on the sides, what do other lizards, what do other animals sort of see this animal on the side looking like? So I'm making these legs look like they're really running flat out. Probably over-exaggerated and almost cartoonized them. But I want to give that feeling of action. It's one of the things I got from trying to draw cartoons for years, comic books, is that an over-exaggerated version of action. When I have a thick, heavy line like this, I usually try and break it in so it just sort of melts into the figure, giving it a lot of weight. Makes that figure look solid, but also breaks up the shock between this, this heavy line and the stippling. I also like to sometimes just put little things like specks of dust flying in the air just to show more action. Now I get a rubber and I rub out all those pencil lines. And here's our illustration of a lizard attacking a spider. Voila! And there you have it. There's my illustration of a lizard diving for a poor spider. So, see you next time when I draw a platypus.